We all know that driving while intoxicated is a major public health hazard, but you may be surprised to learn what's pulling up alongside DWI as a menace on the road. Using your cell phone while behind the wheel. Joining us this morning from Gundersen Lutheran to talk more about the dangers of distracted driving is Dr. Erik Gundersen. Good morning, Dr. Gundersen. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amy, for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you. You know, do you think people are starting to get it? I mean, a lot of us know and admit driving while intoxicated is not a great thing to choose to do. Do you think that people are admitting that using your cell phone and texting and talking is just as dangerous, or do they not quite give in to that idea yet?
Well, Amy, you said it yourself that you can really see a driver who's distracted, and I think the intent of this new legislation that goes into effect December 1st is to increase the awareness that if you text while driving, you will get a ticket. I think there's primary enforcement of this by the police, and they will pull you over if they see you swerving all over or using your texting.
How do you think a family physician will play into that role? I mean, when you go in for your physical, they talk to you about smoking and drinking and exercising and diet. Will you add cell phones to your list of kind of lecture, your things to talk about?
We sure should. I think that's an excellent question because we do talk about those things, as well as using insect repellent or sunscreen, and wearing your seatbelt when you're driving seems common sense nowadays. In years past, the kids' safety seats would rarely be used, and now it's a common occurrence. I should say with using the cell phone, it's about the equivalent of drunk driving or having a blood alcohol of 0.08. I think with texting, the risk of getting an accident is 20 times that of normal. So you really do need to take extra caution.
Why is that? Because most of us can assume we can multitask. We can do two things at once. Why do you think it's so dangerous?
I think it's considered inattentive driving, and it really is a distraction when you're trying to text and use your hands and look down. It takes your eye off the ball, and it greatly increases your risk of getting into an accident. I think nationwide, in 2008, there were over 6,000 deaths related to inattentive driving.
Wow. What about locally? Have you seen an impact in the number of folks coming into the ER because of distracted driving issues?
Well, I'm sure there's a good number of horrific personal stories out there of accidents. My practice is in family medicine in the clinic, and I don't see the emergency room activity that much. But absolutely, there's a concern and a local impact.
In your opinion, is this just a teen problem, or is this a problem that you see across the board?
Well, it's something that will be enforced across the board, but I think the majority of texters while driving are in that in the younger years, up to age 30 or so. But there are others that are texting as well, and the law applies to all.
So this conversation will be part of your annual physical, if you're seen at least by you at Gundersen Lutheran.
Well, we try to cover a lot of bases, but this is one thing that we will add to the list. It sure is.
All right. Well, Dr. Gundersen, I hope folks are starting to get your message and that we can, maybe put down the phone for our 10 to 30 minute commute every day. Thank you so much for your time.
Very good. Thank you, Amy.